Hey everyone, Todd here, internalarchitect.com. In this video, you're going to learn about my theory of life, I guess you could say, called the breathing universe. Now, this is something that I've kind of used or kind of come up with, I guess, as a way to kind of help me understand all the different aspects that go on and to kind of simplify it all into a way of being able to kind of grasp my head around this whole thing that we are living on, this life thing that we are all enjoying, right? I call it the breathing universe. Maybe I heard this from somewhere. I don't remember, but um, I I use that as kind of a way because there's so many aspects and parts and pieces that go into it that our world expands and contracts with everyone and everything that comes into our life and actually as it leaves our lives too. And we can take that from, you know, from I have five different kind of aspects that I use for this, and family and social, work, hobbies, recreation, and you can add more to this because it all really kind of works together, right? With family, there are, we have our finite amount of family, direct family that we consider, um, the ones that are, part of our bloodline. And our family is, those are people that will always be there, through thick and thin. We may hate them, we may love them, all of the above, right? As but only a certain amount really are in your life at any moment, and as your family kind of comes and goes, your world will kind of enlarge itself a little bit, and then you will kind of get to enjoy that time that you have with them if they're around, and if you get to see them for a little bit, or it'll contract if they go away and you won't see them for a while, or honestly maybe never again. Um, but they're there and they're always there, and they will never, they don't necessarily go away, and there's always that little bit, right? So we don't, our decisions that we as we interact with them, is how I kind of see that little bit of our lives expanding and contracting back, getting a little bit bigger with when they come to town, and then it kind of shrinks a little bit as they go away, say for holidays and stuff like that. Kind of a simple way to think about it. Family, or let's friends and social side of it is kind of the next one. I grew up in a resort town, Breckenridge, Colorado, and it's a pretty transient place. There's a lot of people that come here for the season, whether it's right out of high school or they just kind of stumble here through traveling, whatever, and they usually will stay here for about a season, maybe two, and some of them might stay, indefinitely if they find that this is the place for them. I grew up here, so I've seen this kind of happen for so many years, where people just they come for the season. I end up meeting people through snowboarding or skateboarding or whatever, and some of them I've actually made some lifelong friends too because of that situation. They happen to just move on and move somewhere else, or they found it was a little bit better, and I may not be in touch with them, but they're there, and I know that they're there. And that's the other part, is my world continuously expands and contracts with these people that come in to town. I end up meeting them, and we have some stuff in common. We might spend some time, snowboarding and doing some things and some like-minded stuff and like-minded activities, and then they might kind of just move on at the end of their term here, and then my world will contract a little bit. And that's kind of how it goes socially too, just with people that I know. I mean, there's people that I've known in this area for decades now, and I might only see them once or twice a year, but when I see them, it's really cool, and I get to interact with them, and try to make some stuff, some more time happen with them, because some of them I really, really, really love and really enjoy being around them. And then there's others that I might see only once a year, and it's only just a passing, and they're not a huge thing in my life. And so that part of my world is really contracted. But that's that other part where it just kind of expands, from the people you see and the people that are in it, and then it contracts, as they might move on and go do other stuff with their life. So that's that other part of the scenario of things that kind of expand and contract. And kind of work is a similar way too. There's points where if you are employed by someone, you end up meeting a whole lot of new people, and that's where your world will kind of expand a little bit. You'll start gaining some new skills and some new knowledge of stuff that you may not known about before, and that's another part of your world expanding, is you're learning about new things. It's getting, your world is expanding because of the stuff that you learn, and that's a really good thing. And then as, say, another opportunity moves in, your world might contract a little bit with the people that are involved with it, because you're not going to see them every day, but it might expand in a different spot. So it kind of, that another example of it just kind of expanding and contracting, just depending on how and where you're at with, say, a particular job that you're doing. There's kind of things that have people involved, like your work and friends and family. That's where a lot of it really kind of expands and contracts. You really see it because over time you start to realize the involvement that you want to have with certain people, and at that point you can kind of decide how much you want to let your world expand, and being aware of that is incredibly huge. When you take hobbies, for example, things that you like to do outside of your friends and your family, and some people really are mechanical and they like to build things, and maybe they're working on trying to build a hot rod, some sort of a mechanical vehicle or something from scratch, and that's a big hobby, and that takes up a lot of time, and so that part of their world's going to expand huge. That's where their time is going to go. And then someone might, their hobby might be spending their time on social media, so that's where their world expands. It really opens and closes in a lot of different ways, and it's not just in the people, but it is in the hobbies. And then say you're into recreation, and that can almost be tied into hobbies depending on your outlook. And your world can expand and contract due to the type of hobbies and the recreation that you like to do, and the type of exercise and whatnot also. So that they kind of all, as you can see, all this stuff goes hand in hand, because there are parts and pieces that make you interact with more people. Say, like in my case, I've really taken on to mountain biking in the summertime, and that has opened up and expanded my world, in my universe, into a area where I didn't know a lot of people, but I've been learning and getting to meet more people and learning more things and learning some different aspects. So that part of my world has really expanded, and it has been a really, really enjoyable experience for me, and so that's why I continue to keep doing it. Over time, as you kind of see this go, you see the world expand, you see your universe contract and grow, and it'll just, it was a way that I was able to kind of take everything that goes on and kind of dwell it into a little bit more of an understanding for me mentally, and give it a little bit of definition, because for me, I need to have some definition of things that I may not understand that are going on in my life, and for that, it's okay to say that I don't know. And if I don't know about stuff, then I will kind of come up with a way to make myself understand something, and that's kind of why I came up with the breathing universe theory. I'm sure there's other real similar theories out there that are the same, and that's why I think it works for myself, and hopefully for yourself too, to kind of give yourself a little understanding of why things happen and when they do, and to take time into consideration that, you know, all these things happen for a reason. There's a lot of energy that is involved with all the different aspects, not just the 5 that I talked about, but just in every aspect of your life. So, you know, take that into consideration also, and as you do, you'll start to feel a little bit more comfortable with how the definition works and why it works the way that it does. So I hope you liked the video. If you have any questions or comments, hit me in the section below and I'll get to them as soon as I can. And give me the thumbs up too. Let me know that you like this. And you know, again, I appreciate your energy and your time into watching the videos that I'm putting out there. And I really hope this is kind of helping you kind of get a grasp of everything that kind of goes on after cancer. You know, there's so many pieces and parts to doing better and getting better after cancer, and this is my way of kind of helping you kind of through the muck and the confusion that happens after cancer. So again, thank you so much for your time and energy, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.